How's it going, everybody? Just a quick update on the 3D printer stuff. I thought I wanted to show you, you guys might want to see this, is I've been printing things, but in 2D. Here is one of the images I made. I literally just attached a pen to my extruder, and it comes out with these really cool drawings. It looks, the focus here, it looks like a drawing, but it adds these really cool lines, and it's super detailed. Especially with the A9 A8, it's got a pretty high tolerance, so that allows you to pretty much make like quite a few of these pages. You can have Sharpies. I literally just when I made my cooler, cooler here, this is the Space Horn cooler, or whatever. There's this little piece on the back here that I just jerry-rigged up a bolt that goes into it, and then I just glued in a ink cartridge and a pen. It's super simple, so I'm gonna set it up for you guys right now. Simple piece. I usually use it on printer paper, but this is like a test piece. So you just place down your piece here. It can be on glass, can be on the normal build plate. Doesn't matter. I usually do it on glass because what's called normal build plate, it leaks through sometimes, and it could draw on your build plate, which don't recommend. So the glass helps because you can just use some isopropyl alcohol and get it right off after you do that. So get it down nice and down. I want to get it as flat as possible. So there you can see, nice and flat. You want to try to get your pen just below your extruder head. I can show you guys some of the settings. So some of the basic settings. This is just a little quote and like some cool stuff. I don't know. This is just a test. So the quality, I have a 0.1 millimeters. That's about actually the size of a pen tip. Shell doesn't really matter. I have the wall thickness at 0, just because it doesn't really have to be there. Infill at 100. You want that 100%. Temperature, I just dropped it to 40 and 40 because we're not using the extruder or the build plate. So 40 degrees is just above room temperature, so you can fake it out. You want it to be above room temperature so that it has to heat up, because if it's above room temperature, it'll try to cool down, and it doesn't work. Diameter, 0.5 millimeter, 0.05 millimeters. For material, it doesn't matter. Flow, 100%, again, doesn't matter. Enable retraction, you're going to want that. You're going to want retraction distance, just any number above 1, pretty much. Print speed, I'm going to try it at 100 millimeters right now. I usually do like 50 to 60. Obviously, you can turn off cooling. You don't really need that. Don't need build plate adhesion. Don't need supports. You don't want like any like rafts on when you do this. Then you want, like, on your first layer is the stuff that's actually going to print. So on Cura, you can do this, where you can drag through the different layers. That is what it would look like if you could draw in 3D, which the whole point of a 3D printer is. But what we're going to go for is just the one, so that's what the book. You're also going to want to turn on travels, because it will draw in the travels, because it doesn't really retract when it does that. So that's our basic stuff. You can really, there's this program called Image to STL Converter. You can also drop the image directly into Cura, and it also works. You can just input some simple settings. I use this because it's a little there's a little more settings, but that's fine. Mind the train outside my window. So now that we got this all set up, you want to try to get it leveled as possible. I already have it leveled, so I'm just gonna pop into the settings here. You can't see it. I'm just gonna print the file. So the card isn't loaded. Give me a sec. You won't be able to see this part. Unmount card, mount card. Maybe I can see it. Nope. Alright, print file. Where I want it to go to the file I just printed. Alright, just loaded. The SD card's already in it, so that should be fine. Also, this is the case that I made. I think I have a video coming up that'll show that off. But you can see, come on, there you go. 30 out of 40. So you want it to just heat up a bit so that it doesn't have to. You don't want to use a lot of like energy, obviously, because you don't need it. It also might hurt the. Might not be good for the paper. But I don't know. Just you don't need it to be at a high temperature. So you don't want to burn yourself. You don't want to use a ton of energy. So just set it a little bit above room temperature. My room is around like 30 something degrees. So 40 just lets it heat up enough to where it can trick it, and not enough to where it'll hurt you, and also it's not cool enough to where it'll think it has to cool down. You don't want it to cool down to a temperature that's below your room temperature, because it just won't happen. I mean, maybe you can with the extruder nozzle if you have the fan on and everything, but I don't. And of course, I have the fan just taped on here. If you don't have it on, it just does that. Oh god, don't do that. I just tape it so it doesn't have to, it doesn't run. It makes it nice and quiet. It's probably not great for the fan, but yeah, it heats up a bunch. Probably isn't great. Yeah, but just causes a bunch of resistance, which isn't great. Now you can see it's going. Now you can see though, it's not really drawing, right? So we need to go grab my screwdriver, wherever that may be. It's somewhere. It's not that big of a deal right now, but you're gonna want to level the bed a bit. So I found I just kind of unscrew a little bit, point where it'll start drawing lines. You can see. So everything is nice and level. It's drawing, and it's at 100% speed. And it seems to be doing pretty good. You'll see the actual percentage will be wrong because you're not printing in 3D. If you really wanted to, you could get it 0.1 millimeters tall, but that's just so much fiddling, you don't really need it. You can just put the first layer on and just watch it from there. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. You're gonna want this to be pretty tight because you don't want the pen moving while it prints. Also, you're gonna slowly run into problems with like the extruder nozzle, might run into the plastic, just might get pushed up too much. Just watch for that. Also, bed leveling screws, you can see they're on like the very edge. You might want to adjust your other y-axis level gauge there, but everything else, yeah, just watch your leveling. That's probably the hardest thing about this. There are designs on Thingiverse that have like spring locks and all that for pens. I would recommend that, but this was just kind of it was already built into the cooler, and it wasn't great, but this one worked. So if I wanted to do something nice, I would. But this cooler already had a little stopper on it and everything, so just plugged it in there, and we were all good. Yeah, so you can see it's going to town. I have had problems with if the bed isn't perfectly level, it will rip the paper. Obviously, nothing bad is going to happen because it's just paper, so it'll just kind of swish everywhere and do some bad things, but that's pretty much it. I hope this was at least entertaining. This might help some of you with just random crap. I don't know, this was kind of fun. I think the results, like here are some of the, like this thing is insane. I have some more on the wall over here. This was with like blue pen. Yeah, it's the better one that came out. That was with a blue pen. See, it didn't really finish, but I think it kind of looks cool. Also, this one was with the wrong, this other test piece, it had the wrong diameter nozzle extruder, so you can see that the actual, it's not really filled in. It's just kind of like a checkerboard button, which kind of looks cool for like a forest. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching, guys.